Who's excited for Hand of Fate? A deuce! Let us hit a new game.
Your memories are fading even now, gone to form the soul of the game we play. These pieces are new, as are the stakes. Life, death, and vengeance. We must ride, for time is short, and you have much to learn.
As you can see, he's injured.
Choice, and let us set these wheels in motion once more.
Are we male or are you female? Are you man with moose or woman with wolves? Obviously, the answer is woman.
These cards represent your history and our game. We know where they end, for you are here. Therefore, these cards must guide you to my side. Let us see what the journey holds.
The Fool.
The Fool steps into nothingness, because they know no better. In the same way, you must step into the void. You are a blank slate, and together we will write your history.
You've stumbled many miles through this forest in search of the thieves who robbed you. Though exhausted and hungry, you are determined to reclaim your father's amulet. The Four of Greed? So you guys can vote. I can force a vote on some things or not. So, one or two. Do we move closer? I don't know if you have to do number one. You might just have to be able to do one. So I think this is just a way for like you guys to be able to, yeah, vote what you want. But
every element of the game has been improved. Even those that seem at first glance familiar. Do not worry. You will soon understand the nuances.
Creeping forward, you overhear their leader spouting orders. It's simple, he says. The idiots walk down the road, you push over the tree and jump out. They'll be too scared to put up a fight and we'll get rich. Why don't we just jump out and stab them? One retorts. Another hooded figure chimes in. Yeah, corpses don't put up much fight either. Frustration rises in the leader's voice. The Empire doesn't care if a few farmers lose some sprouts, but drop a corpse on the royal road and the place will be filled with soldiers before you've even spent the coin. We don't need that trouble. Now quiet, here they come. You soon spot a group of farmers coming around the corner, bringing their wares to markets. The thieves fell the tree into the path of the unsuspecting farmers and leap out, weapons brandished. Give us all your food. Try just 1, 2, or 3 instead of, you know, hashtag. Nope, looks like it has to be a number. A hashtag. Hashy washy. Yeah. You draw your weapon with practice steel. Well, you hear the leader's voice. You lads handle this. I'll meet you when you're done. By the way, the voting you're doing isn't anything what you'll be wanting to see. So. Violence for the sake of violence and theft for the sake of money. Thieves attack frequently and can evade standard attacks. Alright. Block break. Spaces and evade. Left controls run. F for finisher. The farmers fumble in their haversacks in gratitude. Thank you, adventurer. I'm sure that after they took our food, they would have taken our lives as well. You fall on the food with a sigh, shoveling bread in your mouth to quell the hunger. Your satisfaction lasts only a moment before you realize your father's amulet is not among the takings. The leader must still have it. Alright, so we have to find the leader. Here we go. These are the things. While enjoying a moment beside the fire, you spy a strange figure approaching your camp. It's a goblin dressed in what must pass for goblin finery. From beneath a filthy fox pelt serving as an ill-fitting wig, the goblin winks at you with wild red eyes. Aha! I've been roaming for hours trying to find you. We must get this over with quickly if I have any hopes of getting to all the people on my list before sunrise. It lowers a sack from its shoulders. Now, from within my sack, I can conjure whatever your heart desires. The goblin's voice trails off as he examines the sack. Well, I could if there wasn't a blooming great big hole in it. His head disappears entirely into the bag until his bulbous nose protrudes from the breach. A new plan, then. The goblin pulls out his last trinkets. A wise choice now. I must go. There are many others I must visit before I can rest. Okay. Okay. Makes sense.
This card has a token. Can you find it?
Your journey through a forest is interrupted by an inquisitive child. Are you searching for the forest folk? My uncle says that they used to walk these woods giving out gifts. I want to find one and ask for a lemon cake. As they dash off to peer under a nearby log, the child shouts back, Remember, if you meet the forest folk, get me a lemon cake. In the other direction, an eerie song hangs in the air. You attempt to find its origin. You follow the song through the thicket and stream until you find an open glade bathed in golden sunlight. You find an aged maiden, her posture bent like the boughs of a forest. It has been 12 winters since I had a visitor. Her voice is a whisper, yet it thunders in your ear. You may visit me when you are in need, adventurer.
This is yours now. Even if you lose the challenge, you have earned this token. Nothing could be more fitting now than meeting the mage who started this all. Or at least started it all for you.
A trail of fallen trees and distraught farmers leads you to the thieves who had stolen your amulet. It seems their infighting has only gotten worse. The bandits surround their former leader, weapons drawn. Everyone will get their fair share. There's no need for violence, the leader implores. Who ever heard of a thief talk about fair shares, spits one. You turn up and boss us around. We've barely stabbed anyone. It's been days since I've stabbed anyone. Days! The leader notices you approaching and waves you over. As much as I'd love to continue this discussion regarding saplings, I'm afraid I have urgent business with my associate here. As he greets you, he whispers, Keep me alive and there'll be plenty of gold for your trouble. Gold cannot replace the amulet he stole. Silver finger. First rule of negotiation, never let them know what you want. Kill my associates and I will gladly return your amulet. Ever reliable, the thieves turn their blades to mug you. The leader hurries away to hide. Well, give us your stuff or we'll stab you up, growls one of them. Consider your options. We fight! Alright, I want to double check. Finisher. Okay. Oh, it might be. There we go. With the battle resolved, the thief leader nods in approval at the carnage before him. He holds out his hand. My name is Malacalypse, bard extraordinaire. His smile fades under your withering glare. Sensing your anger, he raises his hands in surrender. Wait, let's not be hasty. We're all on the same side here. I'm an upstanding citizen just like you. I've been working with the thieves, yes, but only for the greater good. No, really, they were killing people before I came along. I know it seems bad, but look. He pulls out an amulet from his pocket and presses it into your hands. All is forgiven, yes? He stares at the amulet. It does not look familiar. Oh? Malacalypse says, scratching his head. He opens a small satchel. So, which one is yours? The eagle. The eagle amulet. That suits you. Very similar facially structures. Hey, you know what? I'm lonely. You're lonely. We should work together. By the way, here at the top, this is what you're more interested in. So, right here, we've taken 3 out of 8 steps. Once it hits 8, whatever you voted for, I get. But I don't know if it's gonna last. So, we have befriended Malacalypse the Trickster. We should probably get to know one another, seeing as we're going to be friends for life, Malacalypse says. Tell me, where are you from? There's your vote. And guess what? We gotta choose how we look. I wish I could rotate our person, but we can't. No, we are the eagle. From the Eastern Belt, eh? You don't say. Good sorts from the Eastern Belt. Very trusting. Oh, by the way, I mean we, friend, owe money to Vignis of the Thieves Guild. He's quite angry at us. We should journey to Mire Bridge together to appease him. Some gold might help. Although, come to think of it, I'm rather busy. Malacalypse's eye is a pretty trader hiking up the road, so it'd be best if you get the gold and I meet you there. Alright, and 5 more steps. We get to find out what it means.
Fates shattered into fragments.
To be king for a day.
Your reward will come in time.
You want a competition of strength at a fair. A gold prize is available to the winner. In the first round of the competition, your opponent is the diminutive Roland, a halfling from a traveling troupe of acrobats. Oh, look.
These dice are another small game embedded in our game.
But there's more than just cards now.
Victory. You are learning.
Roland is no match for your strength. He gives a disappointed backflip off the table and collects his meager winnings and cartwheels out the door. Take your reward from the purser on the way out to the tavern. When you return, you will compete in the next round for a larger prize.
Water is a symbol for the many thoughts that churn beneath the surface.
While
What
crossing
is it you're thinking of?
While crossing.
What concern is worrying at your mind? Let it fall into the waters beneath.
While crossing a stone bridge, you suddenly find yourself confronted by a villainous band. You could stand and fight the fiends or throw yourself at the mercy of the river below. You ready your weapon? Yeah, I'm not gonna have you vote unless I actually want to know your opinion. There's some things I will just do because it's easier. The Four of Blight, though. The first touch of corruption brings forth the darkest elements of their victims. Infected enemies are feeble, causing them to become knocked down when health is low. Use a finisher before they recover. Right. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna, like, open it up for everything, but there'll be some things where I'm just like, hey guys, what do you want? Having spilled your enemy's blood, you search the bodies for anything useful.
A simple defense. You can do better given time. Celebrations in aid of what? You see how quickly the actions of the usurper are turned into tales for children.
Nearing the sleepy hamlet of Dulwich, you find the villagers in the midst of some kind of celebration. Much of the activity concerns a large people in wood statue depicting a fearsome warrior looming triumphantly over a prone lizardman. I don't know, should I follow the parade or ask the local about what's going on? I'm not gonna carry on my wayward son. You could have just hit #2, you know. I literally clicked the button for you to vote. Friendly Sablehand explains, in a bygone age, our town was beset by half men, half lizards. There was no food, no respite, and very little hope. Salvation came in the form of a nameless warrior who hunted the beasts for little more than a handful of coins and a crust of bread. He smiles warmly at the festivities. We honor the warrior like this. The statue is filled with food and gold, and we take turns smashing it to bits with the club. You're welcome to join us, and you may keep whatever falls out. Why? Let's go. Huh. The parade ends in the town square. You watch as the villagers take turns smashing the statue with the club and gathering the food and gold that spills out. A local notices your interest and asks if you would like a turn. Well, sure. We want that huge success, yo. This one? We failed. You wield a club with all your strength. However, the blindfold affects your balance. You bring the weapon down on your own foot. Lol. Engulfed in shame, you leave the town. Never to speak of this day again.
The roads have become even more deadly since the Empire has come to power, despite their promises of the opposite.
The road ahead is blocked by an overturned carriage and a woman calling for help. Please help, she cries. I've been robbed by a band of thugs. Is there anything you can do? Let's see if we can't assist the distressed woman. Yay! That was a perfect. Thank you, the woman says as you help her from the carriage. Please accept this as a token of gratitude. It is my panties. Alright, what is king for a day? He is the king.
Here we come to the end of the beginning, running errands for mages. This will become a theme, I dare say.
You arrive at Mirebridge as the sun begins to dip in the horizon. You find Malakalypse perusing a selection of cheeses by the market. Ah, if it isn't my good friend the adventurer, did you bring the gold? Vignis is arranged to meet in the graveyard. You wonder whether the spot was chosen for seclusion or for easy body disposal. Vignis greets Molocalypse with a sly grin. Looks like you turned up after all, and with a lackey in tow, we had our doubts, you know. The Anarchist of Greed. Vignis cracks his knuckles and giggles. Well now, Molocalypse, convince me, what's to stop me cutting off your head today? Reveal your gold as Molocalypse scrounges in his pockets for some too. The heavy satchel of riches lands at Vignis's feet with a thud that echoes through the silence of the cemetery. That's our deed done, Molocalypse says, worry obvious in his voice. No need for further troubles. I'm sorry, Mal, Vignis grins. You should have known the guild was never gonna let you pay with cash stolen from our members in the first place. Oh boy. Anarchy. Wait, was it anarchist or arsonist? Vignis the crazed, treacherous and greedy. Anarchist. Your armor is no use to you here. Ow. Hot. Molocalypse scratches his chin thoughtfully. Seems you could do with someone savvy to help you navigate these tricky matters of diplomacy, like maybe killing everyone wasn't the best idea. Come, let us discuss our partnership over an ale or two. Alright.
Well done. You have cleared the first challenge, and now we can move on to the next.
Cardinal Blade and the Bastion of Purification. Market Thief. Tots, pies, and exotic lies. Fork in the road. Arm wrestling. Molocalypse's problem and the trickster. For your allegiance to the Deeble's Tale, you receive... I don't know what that is. Oh, new colors and looks. I think that's because I have the first game. Shadow Beasts. The music is a banger, though. The Old Maiden.
Welcome to my challenges. Together, we will traverse 22 paths of wisdom and despair in the hope of awakening.
22 paths. And we did the Fool. Next is the Magician.
Nothing here is coincidence. The answer to every question is in the cards if you but look. All mages are my children. This one, however, I would rather disown. casual call to heroism. How many adventures start thus? For 100 years I have thought about nothing but the game. I was defeated. It is true. I became complacent long before then. I thought I knew everything about the game and what it could be. Now you see before you the extent of my research. I have crafted this game anew.
Your conversation with the fur trader is interrupted as Malocalypse arrives in a flurry. The whispers speak of trouble at the edge of the Empire. The town of Westwind is suffering against the Blight. Let's ask about the Empire protection. A small garrison is meant to be protecting the town, but apparently they are all either dead, missing, or drunk. Why is Westwind special? I've traveled far to escape the oppression of the Empire. Westwind gave me my freedom and I intend to return the favor. Where is it? It sits on the outer edge of the Empire. While the Emperor focuses on the capital, its nobles and merchants, those at the fringes are neglected. Okay, let's head to Westwind. You return to the markets and ask if any traders heading to Westwind need an escort. Alright, we got 3 options. Who do we escort? Three. You arrange an uncomfortable ride jammed in among the many tools of a weaponsmith headed far west.
Like a compass, it indicates the truth of all directions.
Fires magical blades. Nice. Oh, we can unlock a shard by using our weapon ability 10 times? Hell yeah! You arrive at the town of Westwind. To defend the town, you'll need to locate as many Empire soldiers as you can before the Blighter invades.
Age turns us all. She has done rather better than I in the time that has passed.
Walking through a shady forest, you encounter a frail old maiden. She's obscure. For centuries, I have helped the mortals who find themselves lost in my forest. Is there anything that may help you with your journey? Supplies. 3 food, yay!
Let us learn what sort you are. Strong, clever, wise. The circumstances under which you come here put the lie to that.
You enter a competition of strength at a fair. Gold prize is available. Let's see, in the second round of the competition, you sit opposite the aged frame of Huntley Toothless. He boasts about once being a silencer for the Thieves Guild. Come on, Daddy needs some big money. Daddy got a new pair of shoes. Huntley crumbles in defeat almost instantly. You're lucky I'm not 20 or 30 years younger, he says, grumbling. You take your reward from the purser on your way out.
Commerce thrives in even the most unusual of locations. A shield in more ways than one.
We're good.
The Empire reaches too far. The North has gone from a loose collection of tribes to something to truly fear.
You find some Imperial soldiers strung up by Northerners.
Let us see if the mage can help you here.
Let us see if the mage is gonna be useful. So yes, we've got companions who can fight with us. They can cast a protective spell.
If nothing else, I'll get a song out of this.
Ooh. We have rescued the soldiers.
Here we begin to see one of the small ways I've changed the game. Each challenge differs both in their rules and their objectives. Even those cards which were once the stairs now vary per challenge, as you will see.
The West Wind Tower bell chimes feverishly. The town crier bellows, "There's corrupted inside the town. They broke through the sewers and into Loose Lane. All brave soldiers have gone down there to sort it out." Why? Let's join the soldiers. We cannot let the corruption spread. You join in the fight with the Three of Steel. I love how I've already been using it, and it's just now, like, introducing itself to me. With the corrupted threat removed, you've ensured that these soldiers survive to aid in the town's defense. The soldiers help you scavenge what you can from the remains of the poor souls taken by the corruption.
Your companion has his own story to tell. We must wonder if this is a tale of a hero or a villain.
You arrive at the city markets to meet with Malacalypse's associate. You find him sitting on a blanket by the sewer gates. You can't tell whether he's a goblin, a human, or an inanimate pile of greasy rags. A few wilted daisies and duckweed tied with a rope are flopped on the ground around him. "Mac!" Malacalypse calls to the creature, arms outstretched. "I have a favor to ask of you, my handsome friend." The greasy goblin man raises a hand to stop the bard's prattle. 10 gold first, you know that. I don't have enough gold. Goblin man looks confronted. Malacalypse places a consoling hand on him. Don't be mad, she doesn't know about how our kind work. Mac crosses his arm and turns his back to you. Malacalypse makes soothing noises. Okay, Mac, we'll be back before you know it with the gold, okay? Well.
In my day, thieves kept their distance. None would pickpocket a mage for fear of failure, or worse, success.
Look at his top hat. I think he just changed, like, what hat he's wearing. The market bazaar is a hive of activity. Traders from across the land call out to passerbys to sell their wares. As the sun beats down on the crowded street, you pause briefly to draw water from a fountain. You feel something tug on the inside of your tunic. Turning quickly, you discover a pickpocket making off with some of your belongings. Not my gold! You jump to your feet and catch a glimpse of the thief as they weave through the crowd. We need a huge success. Got a success. Oh, all right, you saw to keep your darn stuff, the thief mutters as they drop your belongings on the ground. Dang.
They got themselves into this mess. I don't see why you should get them out.
I wonder what Loxley would have been, though. Oh well, we'll find out later.
I hope this works.
Now your chance presents itself. At last, stand in the defense of the peasantry. What noble traits you display already. Life itself in exchange for life.
Oh, a fiend in need is a fiend indeed. As you hike through the mountains one fine day, you come across an injured traveler. Though he's clearly deeply wounded and barely moving, you sense something disturbing about the cloaked figure and approach with caution. You, mortal, come here, creature commands, his voice rasping. I need sustenance and you will provide it. You draw your weapon and the beast weakly raises its arms to defend itself. Spare me, and I'll make it worth your while. Do we negotiate with demons? 3 days ago, I happened to feast upon one of your kind. A holy man of some nature, I believe, who could no doubt cure you of your wounds. Grant me a pittance of your blood to restore my strength, and I swear I shall bring him to you. We of the list never break our word. Do we let him suck our blood? As you lower your blade, he suddenly lunges at you. Creature continues to draw blood from your arm. How low can you go? Ha. You will not regret this. I would have recovered my full strength in time, I've no doubt, but I admit you have been a boon to me this night. The humans who dared to think they could best me in combat lay fallen in a clearing to the south. Their ambition was as foolish as their deaths were quick, but perhaps they had something that would be of use to you. Set out with a flaming torch and soon arrive at the scene of the slaughter. A dozen armed men have been recently butchered here. Among the remains you find no decent equipment, just the tools of farmers and provincial soldiers. To leave the carnage, you step on a blade hidden in the shadows of the grey.
Spoils. Do not wield a weapon you do not wish to see turned against you one day. They place themselves in these dire positions, and then expect a hero to come rescue them when things become too much.
While patrolling the outskirts of Westwind, you hear the clash of steel and the unmistakable groan of corrupted. Your investigation leads you to a distressed nobleman perched on the roof of his carriage. Like the gods, I was heading to tea with the Duke Gilbert when we were ambushed. My footman left me here to fight all them off, but the brawl has now dispersed into the forest. If you stay here and protect me, I can pay. Nope. Going after the soldiers. Oh boy. 7 versus 4. Let's go! She looks so happy. She's like, haha!
By sea and song, fate and fame!
I didn't expect that to kill me, 100%.
Combat solves so little. It has ended this, however.
Oh well. But we unlocked the Knight's Sword. I like how his top hat is still there, though.
Already we see the Empire abdicating its role and leaving the protection of their people to the lazy, thoughtless, and malign. I have tried to anticipate the changes the usurper might make. 22 challenges I offer you that will help you to understand the many ways in which the cards may fall. I do not know what Callus will do when we meet him, but I hope you will be ready when we arrive. Your supplies are running low. Make your choices carefully.
The thief is nimble, but you manage to gain on them as they negotiate the crowd. With the thief almost at arm's reach, they knock over a barrel of apples in an attempt to hinder you. Are we hindered? I would say yes. So close.
The dice are fair, and thus you have lost this round.
Ugh.
The Northerners are vicious and cunning. These soldiers should count themselves lucky to merely be captured.
Don't let them hit me! I'm too handsome for violence.
Alright, let's go join those soldiers.
I hope this works! my sea and sun, fate and fane!
That cardinal blade.
A remnant of the Templars and their religious righteousness.
Haha. 10 gold first. Alright. Malakalypse steps forward as Merc counts the coins. Merkel, being the bard, looks furtively around before quickly waving at his shoulder. Require help in removing a certain illness. Merc considers Malakalypse for a while. The kind of information costs more than a few coins. You splutter indignantly. It will require a test of skill from her. He turns and points at you. Pick a flower and eat it. The greasy florist displays his meager wares. Eat a daisy. The flower tastes like wilted lettuce but with a hint of something like bitter medicine. Just barely, by the way. To your horror, blood begins to blossom under your shirt. Pull it up to see that it is merely a superficial cut, but you wonder how it occurred nonetheless. Merc nods, happy with the results. He beckons Malakalypse closer. Of those of us left, you should seek Ira of the Vale. She may know something of the curse. Last I heard, she's hiding out in the underneath.
Let us discover what the next chapter in our dear bard's tale will be.
Oh no, not her! Malakalypse straightens his neck shawl nervously. The greasy goblin man giggles maniacally. Yes, her! She'll likely eat your bones before she speaks to you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a business to run. With that, Malakalypse's associate turns away and hurls a bouquet at a shocked passerby. Flowers! Fresh flowers! Buy 'em or I'll eat your eyes! Supplies, please.
Another chance to redeem yourself. Let's
We're not
see
done
how
yet.
you handle it this time.
Nah, we're after the soldiers, yo. And with actual health this time, this won't be an issue. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-bow. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Nice. Although the corrupt have been vanquished, no Empire soldiers remain. You return to the road and find only wreckage of the nobles carrier.
Ah, a reward for a job well done.
By the way, if you don't like any of the options, you don't have to vote. And it'll rotate. It won't pick a random one either. By the way. A holy man approaches and greets you warmly. Greetings, friend. You are here just as the master said you would be. My talents lie at your disposal. Have you need of healing? I'm so glad to help. Like I said, you don't feel like you can do whatever you want. You can choose to
Well, that may help you on the road
like,
ahead.
you can choose to vote for something, you can choose not to vote for something, you can choose to help me, you can choose to hurt me.
This sadly is what passes for a magician in these troubled times.
A top.
Centuries I spent administering the game of life and death, all to make our kind powerful, all dust now.
Oh, by the way, here, let me show you how I farmed things in the past. Look, to do old stuff doesn't hurt me. So look, I can get infinite food by jumping back and forth between things, infinite money and everything, you know. Anyway. Atop West Wind Tower Hall is a large bell tower. It's used to signal the day's end for the workers in the mines and surrounding fields, but now it will summon West Wind's defenders. Do you wish to summon? Yes. Night cloaks West Wind. You can sense the corruption rising from the shadows all around you. You survey any soldiers you've managed to recruit. Gathered a large group of soldiers to defend the town. Here's hoping you won't need any more. Terror of Blight. You must survive till morning when Imperial reinforcements will arrive. Let's give a rousing
Now,
speech.
you waited for more than mere success and failure. You choose the very stakes themselves.
Your rousing speech imbues the soldiers with confidence and zeal. May the gods bless you, hero! Shouts a farmer listening by the stables. He's quickly bundled back in for safety. Braggart. Gain 10 fame anytime you lose any gambit. Then discard. What's fame? Terror of West Wind. As the final vestiges of humanity are erased, the terror wakes. Use Bash to break the terror's corrupted arm and defeat it with a finisher before it regenerates.
With all these soldiers, you don't think you could have prepared your opponents?
We unlock the Cardinal
A mighty
Blade.
creature of chaos felled by your power. Does it satisfy you, this bloodshed? Knowing those you destroy were once simple peasants, going about their day.
Once the corrupted behemoth falls, the rest of the minions flee, their spirits broken. The soldiers erupt in cheers, praising your valor. You can rest until morning, ready to greet the reinforcements with the town already saved.
The magician returns to the deck, but now we only begin our stories of fate, folly, and magic. Do not think I'm satisfied with this, but at least we have a place to begin.
So obviously, as we go, like, the maps get larger and larger.
As you play, you will find more options open to you. Should you find yourself blocked or overly challenged, take the time to explore the board.
But of course,
Unlocking cards will give you options you have not yet considered.
we can also jump orders. So the High Priestess, the Empress, the Emperor. Let's go to the campsite. You can literally change anything about us at any time. We are now the dealer. Now you gotta deal with us.
There is the small game, the game we play, and there is the great game, the game of life and death, the game I was once master of.
Collect blessings in order to enter the ritual house at the summit of Mount Freydis and negotiate a treaty with the Northerners there. So we have to gain blessings in order to increase our chances. And we have to survive by restoring life at camp, eh? Alright. Oops. I forgot I have to actually hit start.
You find yourself once again in the company of prayer and religion. How unfortunate. Now it begins. Negotiations on behalf of the Empire. We will see how that story ends.
Malakalypse has somehow roped you into traveling deep into the far north on a diplomatic mission. While I usually refrain from working for the Empire, since this one takes me further away from it, I've made an exception, and I'll square my debt with General Brandstorm and help open many doors for you. What do you say? How can we help? As you know, I have a great many skills, but my swordsmanship is unlikely to hold up against Northern raiders. I know no one else who is more up to the task. Will you join me? Let's ask about the leader. There are many clans dotted around, but the supposed leader of them all is the High Priestess who lives up there. General Brandstrom instructed me not to come back until I talk to the High Priestess of the North and offer the terms of the treaty. So, okay. Excellent, bring your sword and let me do the talking. I brought plenty of spice so we can set up camp when we get hungry. We need at least 6 blessings. Malakalypse shares a tidbit as you commence on your journey. The High Priestess is quite partial to blessings. If you can prove yourself worthy, you'd have a better chance at swaying her in our favor.
Be careful where one takes refuge, even in the worst of storms.
With little warning, a snowstorm sweeps in from the north. The snow whips against you like shards of glass and obscures your vision. Climb becomes unbearable. You seek shelter. The wretched smell of fish meat, stale sweat alerts you to the presence of a bear rousing from hibernation. It swipes at you with great paws. You flee the cave. Thankfully, the blizzard has gone.
Not every temple has crumbled into the dust.
The
More's the
Temple
pity.
of Divine Providence provides blessings in exchange for a simple gold donation. Sure. What's this one? Reduce. Okay, I'll take it.
The mountain itself pushes you back.
Nope. Yay!
A lesson in caution awaits us all. Nature,
Hi.
truly wild nature, will not tolerate fury in its domain, unless it is its own.
High up on the mountain, you see the silhouette of a man, Scaramouche, approaching through the heavy snow. He bellows through the roaring winds. Who dares trespass on the sacred grounds of our priestess? Hidden raiders spring down the mountain with the dexterity of mountain goats. I see a little silhouette of a man, Scaramouche, can you do the fandango? Thunderbolt and lightning, very, very frightening me. I like how they look, these weapons.
Who dares venture? None less than the electric power clips. Land assistant. Thank you.
The clash of sting reels out. Echoing through the peaks, the mountain answers with a low, ominous rumble as a wall of white rushes towards the melee, sweeping away everything in its path. You seek shelter against a bluff, pressing close to the rock face as the avalanche roars overhead. When the trembling stops, you are miraculously unscathed. The assailant's weapon juts from the snow. As you near, you realize it's still clenched in his hand, his body buried to the wrist by the avalanche. Take him out. You brave the cold and free the raider from his icy grave. He takes a moment to catch his breath and says, "You saved me, though we are enemies by blood. Take my blessing and leave me to my thoughts." Again. Ugh. What sucks is like I have to win that, and then I have to win a dice roll, then I have to win something else. Wait, chance voting? That's a first. That's never popped up. Well, I already left it, so. Alright. More gold. Paralee, the brass hag. She doubts herself as a fearsome pirate, but needs the money from the competition to get herself a boat. Daddy needs a new pair of boots. Apparently not that much, though. Daddy needs a new pair of boots. Nope. Well, we still got a paltry reward. You take the lesser reward for entering. Spy versus spy, let's go.
Push on despite nature itself. attempting to thwart you. Old witches. I have a fondness for them, but I would not trust them.
As you ascend the snowy Mount Freydis, you happen upon a cottage with a pungent smoke wafting out of the chimney. A frail old lady sweeping snow off the path beckons you to come in. We've come in search of the great high priestess to deliver an important message, says Malachlips. You better go bearing blessings if you want to get on the high priestess's good side. I'm mixing a batch right now if you'd like a taste. If I've got it right this time, you can take it to her, she says, stirring the cauldron. Malachlips politely declines. I've been watching what I eat, but my companion here has an insatiable appetite. Take a sip of the aromatic potion and feel a warm, fuzzy feeling flowing through your body. Looks like my recipe is a success! You thank the old lady and continue up.
In the cold, men become desperate. Women hold these mountains together, even through the worst.
Alright. Ow. Oh boy. A trapper. Guys, I didn't realize you were playing DBD this early. On the frozen plains, prey are few and far between. The keen eyes of the trapper sees it all. Trappers throw hunting traps that snare their targets, use evade to avoid, or change direction rapidly to break free.
I'll have you know my friend here is killed far better than you.
The mountain is unforgiving. You would not be the first to die upon its peak.
Another avalanche. Ugh. God. Used to defend those in need.
Who dares venture? None less than the amazing Malachlips and assistant.
Oh, Malachlips. I just jabbed him through the penis. Lazy. 21.
Torn between my loathing for gnomes and my despair that the world is becoming less strange and arcane as the Empire spreads.
So which is it, bruh? Are you upset or not? I can't tell. You don't seem to give us our things. I can't tell if I'm enjoying this or hating this. Well, give us some more information so we can figure that out. No, I think I'm just gonna sit here and complain about it. It's much easier. Ugh. You trespass on gnomish ground, humans! A voice calls out as a dozen small creatures leap from the trees around you. The penalty for this transgression is death. Make peace with your gods! Make peace with your gods. Oh my god. Fiercely territorial, trespass in gnomish lands and face the consequences. Pesky, persistent, and impossible to hit gnomes cause snare. Evade to avoid or struggle to break free. They can only be deterred with a finisher. Kick the baby! Well, like I said, I didn't realize we were playing DBD so early. Victor! The battle gnomes pick themselves up from the battlefield and approach you cautiously. All right, the penalty for this transgression is no longer death. We'd like to parley. We seek arms to defend ourselves. A gnome declares loudly. Hand over some of your equipment and we'll release you. We can even pay you something. I'll give you some food for a helmet. I'll share the secrets of this land for a ring. Give me a weapon I can wield and one for my brother. We've got gold. Yes. You surrender the equipment to the gnome. Satisfied, they offer payment in return. Toothless gnome looked perplexed. A mighty war machine to be sure, but however, we'll wield it. He turns to his brother, and together with the other gnomes, they have the weapon into the bushes and out of sight. Ugh. Not Loxley?
Mages are hard to eradicate at the best of times. We have our ways of hiding from the light.
Following Malocalypse's cryptic directions, many of which involved borrowing farm animals, you arrive at the edge of a vast and lonely lake. There, you uncover a cave entrance blocked by a stone door. We seek out Era of the Veil in the underneath. The bard had explained as you could follow the frightened cow around the previous night. Malocalypse drops his wine bottle nervously and forces a loud and hearty laugh, completely ignoring your question. The bespectacled ogre manning the door to the underneath doesn't look up from his book as you approach. 15 food items per entry. Malocalypse scoffs. Robbery! If you're trying to hustle us, sir, I'll let you know I can shoot lightning from my fingertips. Doorkeeper size, times are hard for us, Mal. You'll see when you get in there. Alright, here's your food. The ogre places his food down, his book down, and with a mighty push, the stone door opens. A narrow tunnel takes you deep below the earth, opening into a vast limestone cavern. Twinkling on the edge of an underground lake lies a small shanty town, red lanterns lining the quiet streets. Malocalypse leads on. Welcome to the underneath, coin slave. Since that bothersome Empire edict, we've had to hide away in places like this. This used to be quite the hub of activity, but now he surveys the silent streets grimly. I guess the Empire is increasing its forces. A few mages eye you suspiciously as they pass by. Let's peruse some stores. There are also signs pointing to a. Let's go to the Ottomans, eh? I'm not allowed in there after I stole all those stupid pebbles. What about you, Stone? Blah. Baskets of giant boulders, smooth pebbles, all tucked away in a basket of rings. What would you like to buy? I'll buy a ring, please. These old things? I need your blood if you want a ring. Okay. The old man pricks your elbow with a shot of green glass and allows the blood to drip into a vial. Satisfied he's collected enough, he hurls the vial into an earth. Feeling lightheaded, you pick a ring from the basket.
Valuable for purely financial reasons, if nothing else.
Spice Stony recommends. Uh-oh. This is one of my favorites. Acquire by something else. Return to the town center. Let's go to curses and blessings. You don't need either of them. I'll trade you them all for this shiny rock. And I'll be, Devil's Ears Tavern. Malakalypse breathes in the heady scent of berry wine, smoke, and feathers. Ah, the Devil's Ears, my home away from home. He pulls out his lute and leaves to serenade the pretty bartender. She tries her best to ignore him. Let's approach the yoga. They seem to be caught up in some kind of dice gambling game, eh? I'll play. Oh, Raider's Penance. Alright. Let's play the game. I gotta beat 18, which is a perfect. Magical. With a drink placating them, thankfully the ogres do not protest their loss with violence. Leave them be. Got a floating eye. The creature watches you approach with interest. A smile breaks out in the knotted flesh at its base. Would you care to dance, small one? It's trade. This is an item I kept from the last warrior I ate. He regurgitates an item onto the floor. What would you offer in return? Yes, this will be a lovely addition. Let's dance. It is a small, circling dance, the creature humming an old harvest song all the while. After some indeterminate amount of time, the dance ends. Ah, the creature says that took me back to my youth. Alright. Let's find Ira. Malakalypse leads the way through the dim, lonely streets to Ira's house. You can hear screaming coming from within. A woman in robes adorned with silver ornaments greets you at the door. Merc said you would come begging for help. Regardless, you are late. Malakalypse bows with a grin. I have an illness. I'm hoping to purchase a cure. Ira of the Veil frowns for a bit before nodding and letting you into her house. You enter the sitting room and the source of the wailing is made clear. A man is locked in a cage, crying in fevered agony, sores of corruption festering on his body. Without warning, she opens the cage and the man rushes at you. But with surprising strength, Ira subdues the mad, writhing creature. This is the mage Cohen. He thought he could fight off the corruption, but he could not. Ira watches Malakalypse carefully as Cohen cries get more and more guttural. What should I do with him? The bard looks away, disgust and fear on his face. He appears close to passing out. She nods before turning to you. What will you do? What will we do? Murder? Or lock him up? Really? She throws the creature back into the cage and locks the iron gate. Then you wait. Malakalypse makes a feeble joke about going to get some candied buns for the show, but a withering glance from Ira convinces him to stay. The imprisoned mage begins to deteriorate quickly. The sores of corruption spread across his body and blood begins to pour from his mouth. As he throws himself at the cage for the umpteenth time, you know no shred of humanity remains. Ira flings an enchanted shard of ice from her hand into the corrupted mage's throat, killing him instantly. You are too weak, she glances at Malocalypse, who is staring wide-eyed at the dead mage. The both of you. With that dealt with, Ira begins tinkering at the table, strewn with dead and shiny things. I do have a cure, but as you know, nothing comes free with our kind. She taps silver dust from a bottle. Save the stolen mage children for me, and I will give you the cure.
Nicely done.
Those Empire bastards have taken them to some walled fort in the docks of the city. You better hurry, irresponsible Malocalypse. That illness can't be held at bay for much longer, I'd wager. What's the illness? Ira laughs. He hasn't told you? Then it's not my place to say, but know this, friend of Malocalypse. If he doesn't find a cure soon, you are in grave danger. Nonsense, Malocalypse stands on stoppering a wine bottle nervously. And you better hurry. How do you know Malocalypse? He was my lover when I was young and stupid. Nonsense, Malocalypse shouts. Why I'm alluring at all ages. You'd be glad to have me still. Ira gives Malocalypse a severe look and he bulks, cowering in his seat. Alright, let's leave. Ira the Veil finds you again just as you begin your ascent. Mal. The bard turns around. You catch a glimpse of hope in his eyes. She avoids his gaze. Take the children to the madmen near Forced Ford. They run an orphanage. I fear it is no longer safe here. We ascend!
Careful how one deals with old magic.
I want Guardian Angel. I'll get second win. Yo ho, yo ho, a pirate's life for me. Oh boy, we got ourselves a Zerker. Fueled with rage and gas, and determined to destroy, Berserker weapons are imbued with ice that slow enemies' movement and attacks.
I hope this works.
You know, the night I stream Hand of Fate 2 is really gonna boost my chat numbers.
Children. It's hard to conceive that either of us were ever such.
He's just a small child, you hear. A deeper voice growls. We have to take him to the dungeons or else he'll run straight to whatever northern colony he's spawned from and show them where our outpost is. That's a shifty looking kid. I wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him, says Malocalypse. So the boy's fate. Let's save the boy. Unsheathing your weapon, you demand they let the boy go. The Empire soldiers are unmoved by your threats. failings. Oh boy. Oh boy. The expansion of the Empire requires constant conscription of new blood. Soldiers block all attacks, greatly reducing their damage. You bash open them up.
Once again, good intentions end up with people trying to hit me.
My hair. There we go. As you check on the unconscious gods, you notice the boy looking at you warily as if sizing you up. Yeet. Fucking A, dude. He fiddles with a little dried plant hanging around his neck nervously. Okay, I will tell you. There was an Empire ambush on our village, and I ran with Mother. We got separated. He wipes some tears from his face angrily, but I'm not afraid. I am of Clan Catsfoot. We are great pathfinders. I will find my way home. The boy tells you what he knows of the area. Well, we can avoid that. Small northerner boy refuses any and all help. You can only wish him luck. Well, we did the task, but we didn't get his stuff.
I've been disappointed. The filth, the
shame.
The horrors dwell in the minds of men, not in the monsters in the darkness.
Westwind's only tavern, the Rusty Razor, is a safe harbor among the many dangers of the outer reaches of the Empire. Its barkeep sits outside his establishment with a look of resigned defeat. Upon your arrival, he jolts straight up and a smile almost breaks across his face. Alas, someone from the guild is here. These Empire soldiers have almost ruined me. Before you can disagree, the owner swings open the saloon door and pushes you inside. Inside, you discover a handful of Empire soldiers enjoying ale rather than doing their duty. The freshly invigorated barkeep hops onto a table and shouts above the noise. You lazy, drunken deserters are done. The Stewards Guild has sent an enforcer here, and now you're all going to have to go back to your posts. This town needs defending. The soldier rises with a slight sweat. We've got 3 days until our shift ends, and we return to civilization, so we're not doing any fighting unless they threaten the supply of ale. Right, lads? A raucous cry erupts in beer tank and smash together all around. Why don't you take your shiny eagle badge and shove off? What are you gonna do? We threaten. You suggest with menace that the soldiers should report to duty or they'll report to the healer. Fuck. I won't be threatened by the likes of you. There is a ton to this. They really amped up the, quote, game for this. More types of enemies, more everything. Deadly at a distance, only the most skilled are recruited into musketry.
Just once, you can get a quiet drink. By sea and spark, fate and fame!
Hold on. Is there an actual, like, defend button? No. Haha, I can deflect. We're good. As you can see, I kind of enjoy Malocalypse because of his ability. Like, I can get a free hit without, like, losing my combo or anything.
Do you use this for its holy virtues, or its cutting edge?
As the soldier falls under yet another blow from your weapon, the leader shouts, "Stop! Alright, we'll do our part. Just stop cracking our skulls."
A grand opportunity for you to take whatever pleases you and go about your day. Now the confrontation. Are you ready to face the priestess of her people and drive the deal the Empire has requested? Or will you turn and flee?
The winds clear the dark clouds to reveal the spire of a ritual house protruding from the summit. You press on through thick snow to find the wooden structure adorned with spoils of war. As you enter the great hall, the towering arched doors swing open with a heavy creak. A giantess in velvet robe enters, accompanied by a raiders. Malocalypse bows low to the ground. My companion and I have been sent both to discuss the truth between the Empire and the Northerners, my lady. So they send me a silver-tongued devil and his shield maiden. She smirks. I hope for your sake you have a decent offering. You kneel before the High Priestess. Your offering will suffice, says the giantess. But if you seek to make a deal on behalf of the Empire, you must prove yourself against my champion. Her raiders charge toward you. Sacrifice my companion so that I can't get my free shield and get rid of the trappers, which are super easy, or just kill them all. I like to murder. I like to murder, murder. I like to murder, murder. I like to murder, murder. You like to murder. Fierce, loyal, and relentless champion of the High Priestess.
Why do we always end up in raging locals?
You've done well, now hear my terms. High Priestess draws herself up, a towering figure draped in fur and wrath. The North will never bend to the Empire. Blood for blood for blood. Those are my terms, small one. Let your leaders hear it and quake. Then you make the quick descent to relay the message back to General Brandstrom. The Humble Hammer. Is that like a humble bundle? The music is just so nice. All right.
This game is merely the lesser game. It is not the true game of life and death, merely my model of it. I must prepare you for the challenges you will face when we meet Callus in truth.
Oops, I didn't read the instructions.
In this case, the Empress is a symbol, a leader of the northern clans, but not their only one. Now we come to one of the new nuances of our game. The hunt for fame and esteem would not work for all players, but it works for you. I can sense it in you. Your pride, your skill. In time, we will learn all of you.
Raiders have destroyed our village, the Elder of Talos explains in a hushed voice. They were sent by a dark shaman of the north. They were searching for this. He draws a large warhammer from his cloak. Hrithaziah! 'Tis the only weapon that will break the seal to their encampment.
Anger is a powerful force.
That weapon is heavier than you imagine, perhaps weighed down by some hidden magic preventing you from wielding it to its potential. As the Elder looks straight in your eyes, though peering into your soul. Not all weapons are all for men. Only those who have demonstrated great acts of valor and courage may bear Hrithaziah. You do well to remember that. What would you like to know? What must I do? You must find the courage to wield this weapon and defeat the shaman. Before the 5th village falls, the village needs a hero. Okay. Let's ask about Hrithaziah. Great artifacts require great heroes, he explains. Never turn down the opportunity to aid others, seek out greatness, and you will be rewarded. It's about the shaman, a twisted creature with great power. Never seen on the battlefield, but here she commands her warriors from her camp in the forest to the east. Send our warriors to find her, but a magical barrier prevents anyone from entering her sanctum. Empire? What good is the Empire? Not but tax collectors and carrying crows. 6 raids here this year, not a soldier to be seen. So much for protection. Alright, let's begin our quest.
When the hero runs in, the villain takes their time to bait their trap.
A rustling...
Be careful, lest they put you in your place.
A rustling behind you is all the warning you get that your life is in danger. You turn as the cords of a northern bowler wrap around your body. A party of northerners charges at you before you can break free. Bola bola, bola bola bola.
I'm no happier to be here than you lot.
Search for spoils.
At what point does honor bend to pragmatism?
Shake a 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 butt.
A win here sets the tone for your challenge.
Please accept this. It's my panties.
Time passes and things change. The advances of the Empire march on, and mystery and magic falls further into darkness. Yet, death stalks the streets of the city.
A pall of smog casts the city in a dull grey light as you navigate the narrow streets and back alleys of Iron Peak. Beware the Prince of Poisons! Calls a young boy in a short-brimmed cap as he hands out leaflets to the passing crowds. You stop to read a discarded parchment sodden by the damp that clings to the cobblestones. Prince of Poison strikes again! Another mass poisoning in the back streets of Lowtown. Mayor raises reward to 500 gold. The boy approaches you as you finish reading. If you really hope to be safe, you best protect yourself. I have just the thing and at a bargain price. Who's the Prince of Poisons? He's the one responsible for all the killing that's been going on. The child exclaims wide-eyed. Dozens, if not hundreds of innocent people dead. All poisoned by the prince. Strikes at random anywhere at the city at any time. Just drops one of his canisters and half the street's dead before anyone knows what's happening. Really hope to be safe. You best protect yourself. I have just the thing and at a bargain price. Ask about the several children in the alleyway. Boy looks over to where you're pointing. Most of them lost their parents to poison and live on the streets now. Boy shakes his head, saying came from a good home, some of them. They won't last long on the street. Don't even know what street corners are best to beg on. Let's give them some food. Children dressed in clothes once embellished with silver buttons and lace, but now torn and coated with soot swarm around you. 10 foods. A dozen filthy hands tear the offered morsels to shred as the children scramble for what they can get. The boy from the street corner runs in the alleyway, gasping in surprise. I've never seen anyone give away so much food! Suddenly, an armed man sprints into the alley, knocking several children to the ground. He pauses to swear and glances back the way he came. A silver-haired lady, clearly dressed for combat and sporting an array of weapons, stands silhouetted at the end of the alley. Running is pointless, Mad-Eye, she says matter-of-factly. Mad-Eye draws his weapon as the children scatter. I'm not going to prison! This one's mine, the woman tells you as you draw your weapon. More armed men suddenly rush in the alleyway. Mad Eye, one of them kills. We won't let it take you. This is an old lady. Katura. You will find no charity here. When activated, Katura fires her back holstered weapon and causes high damage.
Nothing like the smell of gunpowder to get up about the racing. Out of my way.
The silver-haired woman immediately rushes forward to stand over Mad Eye, declared, I'm taking this little life in and getting the payment. As formidable as the woman looks, she turned to search the other fallen men before leaving the alleyway. Oops. Well, that didn't get us what I wanted, but whatever.
Children are always the ones to suffer most. They have an excessive capacity for it.
You linger near a fort in the abandoned docks of the great city. Malocalypse sidles out of an alleyway and strokes his mustache. Well, Queen Slave, the Empire has stolen the maid's children or hidden away in there. Now, I'm not fond of children, as you well know. You recall a time when Malocalypse was asked to relinquish his last sweet roll to a crying child. He refused. But Ira won't give me the cure if we don't rescue them. He outlines the plan. It is worryingly brief. These forts are all interconnected, so even if we defeat one lot of guards, they're bound to call in reinforcements. We'll have to get in and out quickly. I had to defeat 2 steel monster guards within 60 seconds. Oh boy. Okay, got it. Malocalypse has drawn a helpful diagram in the dirt. The self-portrait is particularly generous. Why would the Empire kidnap maid's children? We're evidence that the old world even existed, and they don't like that. Alright, let's go. The exact moment you leave your hiding spot, a soldier swings the gates open. You and the soldiers lock eyes, startled. But the young man comes to his senses and shouts, Intruders! Malocalypse swears as you skulk back to the alley. Through here, you see him disappear into the sewer grate. Follow him before the soldiers find you. Great. We gotta defeat 3 enemies in a minute. And by 3 enemies, I mean probably 11. The stone walls at the narrow passageway grate against your skin as you feel your way through the sewers. You stumble blindly into Malocalypse and clumsily plunge into the water. I'm actually going to switch this back into the Warrior's Axe real quick. The commotion rouses a group of corrupted creatures taking refuge in the city. In the sewers, they don't take kindly to intruders. They don't take kindly to intruders.
I hope this works.
The final monstrosity falls, gurgling. Malocalypse gazes at the bodies with a troubled look on his face. This one is wearing a necklace. Looks like a family heirloom. The bard, usually fond of looting and stealing, doesn't allow you to touch the necklace. Let's see. You pair up at the access tunnel. It's set too high into the wall. You won't be able to get back out that way. Now let's explore the sewers. A rope hangs in from a hole in the ceiling. Pull the rope. Take the rope and an Empire soldier tumbles through the hole and lands at your feet. The soldier manages a surprise what? Where Malacalypse clubs him with his loot. Yay! Trip on a damp chair and fall into a pile of loose barrels. The noise clatters loudly through the sewers. Is someone living here? Immediately a shout comes from above. The rats are back again. What's that? I said I think those giant rats are in the sewers again. Call reinforcements from Fort Mournhold and get them to take a look. The useless twits never do anything anyway. Cool, I got rid of one and then immediately got it back. I love it. Malacalypse beckons you to a wrought iron gate. If I'm not mistaken, and I never am, how dare you question me? This will take us directly into the fort. He allows you to go first, though. You find yourself in the cellar. There are wine caskets, jars of pickled vegetables, and a sizable iron cage wreathed in pulsing lights. Within the cage are the missing mage children huddled, unsure of your intentions. Malacalypse reaches for the heavy lock upon the cage's gate. It sizzles and he drops it quickly. By Freda's skirts, that burns. He presses a long metal implement into your hand and steps back. You tentatively touch the lock. It doesn't burn you. You attempt to pick the lock. Oh god.
The pendulum swings like a scythe, bearing hope or failure.
Success, great
Nicely
success.
timed.
Failure, and then mega failure. With a click, the lock pops open and clatters to the floor. Okay, children, Malacalypse awkwardly pats one on the head. Your mother and I are going to kill the bad men. You stay here, unless we die, in which case you're on your own. Children nod, numb with terror. You sneak up the stairs and survey the scene before you. The soldiers mill about the fort's courtyard. Malacalypse draws his spellbook. I have an incantation that will covertly teleport a few soldiers far away from here, potentially to their desk, but I'll require some of your blood. Why do you need my blood? Ah, these spells. These are spells I rarely use. I'll need blood magic to be able to perform them. The bard notes your raised eyebrow and clutches his arm defensively. Not me! I'm a gentle flower. Besides, look at you. You're simply bursting with blood. Do we do blood magic? Or do we do not? Blood magic. I mean, all it is gonna do like minus 20 health to us. It's not gonna be that big a deal. Blood magic. Oh, minus 5. That's easy. The blood drips onto the rune-lined page.
The wheel is one of my favorite innovations. It combines many different elements of our game into one.
Redraw. Malacalypse accidentally sets the
Move faster next time.
Malacalypse accidentally sets the barrel beside you on fire. A loud and fiery beacon. Shouts of intruder echo around the fort. I have to defeat all these enemies in 60 seconds, by the way, without Malacalypse's help either. Ah! Oh my god! Watchmen. But who watches the Watchmen? Oh my god, I just missed it. I just barely failed. Ah! With the blare of a horn, scores of vampire guards fill the courtyard. Moluckliffe flings the crackle of blinding sparks and pulls you toward the exit in your escape. Come, we cannot hope to save the children now. We can only hope to return later.
Although you've clearly dabbled with gods to arrive here, you do not need them. You have your own strengths.
Your quest brings you to a remote shrine high in the mountains. It is revered among the few local peasants for its remarkable healing properties. You kneel before the shrine and beseech the gods to take pity on you.
Dice are a constant reminder of death. The singular is die, as I'm sure you know, and they are often called bones for the material from which they were crafted. Here, however, they may also bring a touch of life.
Sunshine appears through a break in the clouds that bathe you in a radiant glow.
Let us see what the next town holds. Do not take lightly the mantle of fame. Being a figurehead is not without consequences.
As the village burns, 3 brave farmers attempt to defend the last of the surviving villagers. One calls out, "Please help! We must stop these savages!" Savages, savages, tumble, tumble, savages, savages, tumble, tumble. I don't know how that song actually goes. It's something about savages, right?
A useful tool, but simple magic.
The surviving villagers rush to the farmer's aid and tend their wounds. "Thank you, hero!" they cried. "You have saved our people, but sadly our village is no more. Please accept this small token of gratitude." It's no time to celebrate. They are surely mustering to raid the town of Terran. They point further south down the riverbank. If you are a true hero, you will surely save them. With another village lost to the northerners, you set out to the next town without delay. Hi. Welcome to the general store. How may I help you? At the general store.
Is that your choice? Really? The power Rage grants is often misunderstood.
Hello, welcome to the general store. Don't know why you've got to anymore.
Here's a token for you, if you can earn it.
He's gonna let me talk. While strolling the docks of Iron Peak, a tattooed woman calls out to you from a small fishing sloop. As she shakes your hand, she introduces herself as Raina Ishmael, captain of the SS Remarkable. You look strong of arm and sure of aim. Have you considered a career in the fast-paced world of deep-sea harpoon fishing? What's harpoon fishing? Why, it's a popular pastime among the kinds of folks who need to prove their physical prowess, she says, brandishing a rust-covered harpoon. I can get you out in the water right now for a little extra gold. I know where I can acquire a premium harpoon. It'll help your steady aim. Let's go fishing. Captain Rana sails your boat away from the docks out into the open waters. As the shoreline disappears, Rana drops her anchor. Need me to tell you how this works? Yes. Points to the water. We call that the ocean. It's got fish in it. If you throw your harpoon down there and it hits one, I'll pull it up for you. You'll want to be careful of the reef wall. If your harpoon ends up in there, you might as well kiss it goodbye. The deeper you go, the bigger the fish, though you can never be too certain of what you'll catch. Finally, there's shipwreck way down there, an old merchant vessel. See that golden glimmer? If you need a target fair and true, I'd aim for that. Raise your harpoon over your head and hurl it into the churning ocean. With unerring accuracy, your harpoon plunges deeper into the reef.
Breathe. You have done well.
The harpoon descends into the lowest reaches of the reef. The merchant vessel's treasure glitters tantalizingly on the ocean floor. Oh, come on, Daddy. Three excellence in a row. Your harpoon buries itself into something solid. Ran the holes you catch up onto the deck.
Of life and of death.
We got a dead man's hand. Aim a spell that deals 50 damage to the first enemy it hits. Causes more damage when your life is low. Ooh. The hand of a dead man. Among the coins and confused sea urchins, you spy a curious gauntlet. It hums with arcane power as you slide it over your hand. Sun hangs low on the horizon. Rana raises anchor and says, time to return to the docks and to distribute the sea's bounty. And it scoops a pile of gold coins out of the waterlogged treasure chest. Not what I was expecting to haul up, but good enough. Rana gives you a casual salute. A bucket of cum dangling from her arm. If you ever want to come out on the water again, you know where to find me.
If you fall in a trap once, you may blame error. To fall in the same trap again smacks of foolishness.
What, no comment? You're like, nah.
By sea and sun, fate and fame!
Hey, we got our shield token.
Reward well earned.
Let's search for some spoils. Excuse me, where's your spy versus spy hat, sir?
Wealth through exploration. We have many lands to discover, you and I. If you cannot make use of this, I will question your skills.
A traveling cartographer in the process of making the first full map of the Empire wishes to pay you gold for information on areas you have seen in your recent travels. Sure. Spend several hours in his company until he's satisfied.
Actions, of course, have consequences. You cannot think that the steps you have taken will bring a simple peace. No.
I hope this works.
Now the power is yours to use.
Surviving villagers rush out. Yep. All the food we could ever want.
It appears you are worthy to wield the weapon of champions.
You turn
The raiders
Haritha's
will
eye.
hide from you no longer.
You turn Haritha's eye over in your hands. The rune on its face begins emitting a golden light. It's unclear if it now weighs less or you have the newfound strength, but either way, you can wield a mighty hammer. Well, Locklips looks on and all. Wow, that would earn a pretty penny at the markets. But first, let's use it to break the barrier to the northern raiders' camp and slay the shaman and stop the raids once for all. Cool.
You strike me as the type who would put themselves in harm's way for the benefit of others. Yet, perhaps you'd rather have someone else sacrifice themselves for you.
You hear shouting up ahead as you make your way down the cobbled streets. You see lights flickering on the road in front of you. As you approach, you see a building, flames and smoke billowing out of its upper room windows. A crowd is formed outside, passing buckets of water between one another to temper the blaze. As you push your way through the crowd, you see a woman frantically pleading to the villagers, "Please help, my family's in there!" Through a haze of smoke, you find the
wise
woman's
decision.
youngest daughter crying under her bed. You coax her out, scoop her up, and carry her out of the blaze. A villager rushes to your aid. "Thank you, brave adventurer. I can take it from here, but be warned, the building's not safe. It will collapse soon. We must do it." Find the woman's son, attempting to find his way out through the smoke and flames. Grabbing his hand, you lead him back out of the building. Alright, last one. Let's go. Let's save them all. I just missed it. Damn it. Smoke is too thick and you find yourself disoriented. Eyes burning, you fumble your way back out of the building to catch your breath. My husband! Did you see my husband? Oh boy, I can't fail again. Nope. With a sudden crack, the beam above you gives way, injuring you and blocking your path. No, come on. While you were unable to save everyone, the villagers were grateful.
You'll notice that my carriage does not stop for every distressed traveler along the way.
Hell yeah. Can we have your panties? No? Oh. We did not get a panties.
The Empire has busily purged so many of the fantastic creatures from the
Time
land,
to kick the
and yet they leave the gnomes.
baby. The power of an ass kicking. Surrender the equipment to the gnomes. Really? I don't know what they want. Alright, let's do this again. We win! See, we have to win it 3 games in a row is the problem. The Market Thief again. I mean, we're gonna be done soonish, so it doesn't really matter right now. Like, we're a step away from the final ending, so. You leap over the rolling apples and tackle the thief to the ground. If you let me keep these here items and let me go, of course I'll let you in on a secret. Okay. Gingerly release the thief. Do not worry about yourself, the thief says as he dusts himself off. Think of it as an investment. My name is Merrick. Perhaps I could teach you a thing or two, and if you prove yourself, well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Meet me at noon in 2 days at the Market Plaza. We can talk more then.
You have prepared yourself for this battle.
It is at the
Now
top.
you must face it, but not alone, perhaps.
It is that the Talos Elder said. Malaka Lips remarks, the shaman's sanctum is protected by a magical barrier. Best you try that hammer. Raise Hritha's ire above your head and bring it down against the magical wall with all your might. Alright. I'm curious about, hold on. I'm gonna stick with that, actually. Yeah. The hammer finds its mark and you are immediately engulfed in a blizzard of snow and ice. The howling winds spin you this way and that, then vanish as quickly as they had appeared. Disoriented, you look around for Malacalypse, but he is nowhere to be found. Find your bearings and realize you're standing in a forest clearing covered in newly fallen snow. You step back and bump into something. Turning, you see a towering northern clansman, bald and brutal.
He has brute strength, if nothing else.
He does not flinch, nor seems even the slightest bit interested in you. He stands with weapons drawn and brow lowered. You turn to follow his gaze. Then you see her, sitting on a throne of wicker and thorns, small straw-plated charms and oddities hanging from the trees behind her. Before her kneel countless raiders worshipping their leader in eerie stillness. The defender of villages and the exiled one, the shaman says with a hiss. She steps down from her throne. I know why you have come. Let's end this. Hope you know how to fight heroes, says the bold northerner calmly. There are more warriors here than we can kill. To defeat a snake, you must cut off its head. You ready your weapon as the shaman and her clansmen surround you. Surrounded? Oh no! Raid leader Gerda.
I do not know this, yet we will fight together. Stand clear of my blows, and I will stand clear of yours.
The shaman's body writhes as the dark spirit leaves her chest and vanishes into the air. The remaining raiders flee into the forest. As the skies clear, the sun beams down on the colossal warrior that had fought alongside you. I am called Bjorn, he explains. I was born into the northern clans, but I am clanless now. You do not know us, but we were not always like this. Perhaps one day the clans will return to the tradition they have lost. We have befriended Bjorn. You and I have cleared a small part of the stain from my honor this day. If you call, I will answer. He reaches out a massive hand and clasps your forearm. Let us head back and find your friend. And with that, you and Goldborn make your way back through the forest in search of Malakalypse.
Another card returns to my deck. Do not worry. I have more challenges before you will be ready to face my foe.
Lots of things. And we got Harithazaya. For defending all of the villages, we get the Elder's Gift. Look at those eyebrows, though. Planning to catch it the day, we get the Dead Man's Hand. For putting my shield to good use, we get a reinforced shield. And of course, for accepting the thief's offer, we learn to pickpocket. And that right there...
You have done well. You understand the basic rules of the game now. From here, they will change.
Have you figured things out yet, Emotive? Like we've done the Fool, the Magician, the High Priestess, the Empress. We still have the Emperor, the Hierophant, the Lovers, the Chariot. You recognize the Strength, the Hermit, the Wheel. Yeah, this is where we will be ending it, though. The major arcana of the tarot. Yes, tarot. Yes, this is where we're going to end it. We do not have time to start the Emperor, so we will get started with the Emperor next week. So, thank you everybody for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. And until the next time, everybody, stay funky, people.